welcome to episode 2 of my top tips for being a fittings model. In episode 1, I talked to you about what it means to be a fit model and whether you'd be suitable for it yourself. In this episode, I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about the casting process. So I'll be telling you what you should wear, what you should bring, who you're likely to meet, and what happens during the casting process. And at the end, I'm going to be talking to you about the most important thing, how much you should expect to get paid for a fittings job. So what should you wear to a fittings casting? So firstly, you need to think about your underwear. You basically just want to wear a nice matching, plain, clean, obviously, set of underwear. When you're actually doing a fittings job, it's best to wear nude underwear. That's what they usually ask for. But for the casting, it's not quite so important, as long as it's the same colour. So perhaps wear an all black set or an all white set. I wouldn't wear anything too bright or too jazzy. Bra wise, you want to wear just a normal t-shirt bra. No massive padding, nothing that makes you a different size or a different shape. Also not too much lace or anything like that. Just something that's going to be plain and not really seen underneath tops when you wear them. Knickers wise, people have asked me before, should you wear thong or should you wear knickers? Now personally for fitting, I wear a thong because I don't like knicker lines to show underneath my clothes, so it's the same when I'm fitting. Also I fit for brands where I actually fit underwear, and so I have to put thongs over the top of my thong. So I couldn't put a thong over the top of a pair of pants, for example. So I have to wear a thong for that. However, for castings, I do usually wear a pair of full knickers, just because it's the first time I'm going to meet somebody, and to stand there with your bum out feels a little bit uncomfortable. So personally, I prefer to wear normal knickers just for the casting. But it's entirely up to you, whatever you're most comfortable with. As I said, as long as your underwear is matching, it's clean, preferably like seamless knickers are the best thing, or seamless thong. Clothes wise, you can wear whatever you like to a casting. But I like to try and dress in the style of the brand that I'm going to cast for. So what I mean by that is, for example, if I was casting for Nike, I would turn up in a pair of leggings, trainers, a hoodie, just very casual. So it kind of goes with their brand. If, however, I was casting, say, for Laura Ashley, I would probably go in a pretty floral type dress. The reason for this is because when you're fitting, you are supposed to represent their customer. So they need to see that you look like their customer. Even if you're not, even if you would never shop in that shop, you need to make them think that you would. So at the end of the day, it's entirely down to your measurements. If you're not the right measurements, you're not going to get the job. But if you and another girl have really similar measurements and they're choosing between the two of you, they might pick you because they think you look more like their brand. If you're going for a casting for a brand you've never heard of, it's also worth just having a little Google to see if you can find some information about them, so that you know the kind of clothes that they make and the kind of the ethos around their brand. It makes it useful when you're chatting to them if you know a little bit more about them and more about what they represent. What should you take with you to the casting? I always make sure, if I'm not already wearing leggings, that I chuck a pair of black leggings or cycling shorts into my bag, and also a plain black vest top or something. The reason for this is some brands will like to measure you over clothes. They won't want to ask you to go down to your underwear. This is usually if it's somebody of the opposite sex who's measuring you, or perhaps you're going to be measured in the middle of an office or something. It might not be that private. So sometimes they'll measure you over clothes, so they'll want something tight fitting that they can see the shape of your body still. So yeah, like I said, I just bring a vest and leggings with me. It's also worth chucking a pair of heels in. Obviously, again, if you're casting for someone like Nike or a brand like that, you don't need to bother bringing heels because they're not going to ask you to put them on. But if you are going for somewhere that does dresses or does nice sort of clothes, trousers and things, put your heels in because they might ask you to put them on when they're getting you to try on some clothes. I tend to just bring a pair of normal sort of boring court shoes with me, but any heels will do. So who will you meet on the day? You're most likely to meet the garment technician. Their job is to make the clothes that actually fit you. So they're the person who will be measuring you, pinning you, making sure that you feel comfortable. And if you don't, they will change the clothes to make sure that you do. They're the person who on the day will most likely check that you actually fit to their brand. You'll also probably meet some buyers and some designers. They will be more interested in your overall look, your overall shape, and how you look in their clothes. So you'll probably get given a couple of things to try on, and they'll just be making sure that they look good on you, that things look like they fit you correctly. I'll explain a little bit more in the next couple of episodes, more about actually what these different job roles are and what everybody does. But for now, just know that it's the garment technician that you're probably most likely to be meeting, and it's them that has to like your measurements in order for you to get the job. So what will happen during the casting process? Obviously, every casting is different, so I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen because some brands will do things totally differently to other brands. But in general, it's the same kind of format for most castings that you go to. So as I said, you'll meet your garment tech and she'll take you into your fit room where it's just usually a normal sort of small room with a curtain or something to get changed behind so that you don't have to get changed in front of them. Some places might not have somewhere for you to get changed, so you might find you stripping off in front of the client straight away. So just make sure you've already got your underwear on and everything so that you're ready to go. Usually the first thing that will happen is they will measure you. So they will ask you to go down to your underwear, or as I said, they might ask you just to put on leggings and a tight t-shirt, and then they will measure you. Now, how they measure you and where they measure you will very much depend on the brand. Some places might not be that strict and they might just measure your bust, your waist, your hips, ask for your height, and then you're done. Other places will get out stickers. So little tiny dots, and they will cover your body in dots. So they will mark different places. So they will mark your waist, then they will mark 10 centimeters down to mark your top hip, then they will mark another 10 centimeters down to mark your low hip, and then they'll mark your nape, which is the back of your neck, and all these different places, and you'll basically just get covered in sticky dots. Once they've fully dotted you, they then will take the measurements. So they're then, all the places they've marked, they will take a measurement reading, which they'll write down on their spec sheet. The spec sheet is a list of measurements that you are supposed to be. So there'll be an ideal measurement and then there'll be your measurement. So say they want the waist measurement to be 69 centimetres, your waist might be 69.5 centimetres. But usually they have a tolerance of plus or minus 2 centimetres to every measurement. So if you were half a centimetre too big or too small, that's no problem at all. Once the garment tech has taken all the measurements that she needs, she'll then probably call in the designers and the buyers. This is when they'll then ask you to put on some clothes. So they might give you a few items, say a couple of tops, a pair of trousers and a dress. They're just going to want to see that the clothes look like they fit you. So if you put the dress on and it looks absolutely massive or absolutely tiny, then obviously that means you're probably not right for their brand for that particular size. But generally, you'll only have been brought into that casting because you're the right, you're already the right size for them because your agent's already put you up. So the likelihood is the clothes you put on will fit you. And then that should be about it. Once they've measured you, once you've tried on a few items of clothing, they might then chat to you about your availability. If they fit on certain set days, they might talk to you whether you're available on those days. Or some brands don't have set days, they just do different times whenever they need you. So they might ask you when you're available and how often. Try and be as honest with them as possible, because obviously if you can't fit on certain days and they want you on those days, there's no point going ahead. But if maybe they're a bit more flexible, let them know that you can only fit at certain times. And if they really want you, they'll work around you. So the one thing I haven't spoken to you about in this whole 2 episodes, that's probably the most important thing, is how much money do you get paid? This is something obviously to talk to your agent about before you go to a casting, so that you know how much it is you're going to be earning if you actually get the job. For fittings, you should be earning a minimum really of about £25 an hour. Anything less than that isn't really worth your time. If it's going to be a very long full day fit and it's slightly less than that per hour, it's up to you if you feel like you're okay with that. But personally, I won't work for less than 25 an hour. If I'm going to be doing only like a 2 or 3 hour fit session, then really I want to be earning at least £30 an hour as well, just because it's not worth my time travelling in for a job for 2 hours if I'm only going to get £50. So I really want to be earning at least 30 an hour. Some brands you'll be earning 35, 40. Some brands you'll earn a lot more, particularly some of the designer brands. They will pay you a lot of money per hour. But really 25 is the minimum you should be looking for. So thank you for watching today. Hopefully now you've all measured yourselves, you've sent off those emails, you've got yourself a fittings agent, and soon the phone will be ringing and you'll be getting those castings coming through for different brands. Good luck if you get yourself a casting. In the next episode, I'll be telling you what happens when you actually get the job. So I'll be going through what you need to know, what will happen during the job, what's expected of you, any little tips and things that you should know about. In the meantime, please make sure you subscribe to the BlueFishEnts YouTube channel. There's loads of content on there, loads of different videos for you to watch and keep you entertained. Anyway, thank you again for watching. See you soon. Bye.